Who's being a bad dog? Guess I would need to see here. What are we doing for balls? I guess we're going to use lamps. Target card. Look at that. Where's that hiding? Alright, so now let's go ahead and clean this area up a touch. A touch. We need some Novus too. Uh-oh. Where did I put any? Alright. I gotta find this. Where's that? Where's it at? Where's it at? Alright, we got hot. I'm gonna brush here. And I have no Novus. Murphy's Law, of course. Big dogs, what are you doing? Big dogs. Big dogs. Go there. Oh, that's a mess. And lost that. There we go. big glob. Didn't need that. Too much. Too much, too much, too much. Alright, what are we doing here on lamps? Putting some bulbs in here, some new bulbs. After cleaning that area, now on these are the posts and the lane guides. See how dirty they are. They are pretty disgusting. That is from all of the dirt and dust. So what we're going to do is we're going to wipe these posts down. Sometimes people just replace the posts, but we're just going to wipe them down and put them back. So you'd have one post there. And I'm wiping the other post right now, and you'll have another post there. And let me get a little more spray on there. And you'd have one more post here. And you'd have another post here. Alright, and these lane guides need to be cleaned. So we'll just clean them like that. They are extra dirty. Extra dirty. Some people will replace them. But we're just going to slap on some cleaner here and rub off all the dirt the best we can. And they will look fine as long as they're not cracked. Should be good. A little bit of, come on. Alright, so this one, I forget on these lane guides, I think they go like that. And what we need to do in the meantime is put a new band on both. So what we're going to do is we will take our screw. I'll go ahead and put this through. And we will get that going a little bit. And we'll take our other post and go ahead and screw this down just a touch. All right. And we will go like this. And come on. Come on, get in there. I'm going to stretch these out a little bit sometimes. Try and get it through the post. Nope. Scratch it up. Alright, we are good. Get both screws in, we will screw down. So now we got a new bulb in there, and we got a new band on that guide. So, bulb bounce off there. We also want to test if the guide is too tight. So sometimes the band will make the guide flare out a little bit too much, so we're good. And we are going to continue on to these other posts on the other side to clean this lane guide in the meantime. You'll see my flashlight kind of moving around like crazy here because it's a head-mounted flashlight, of course. I've got a lot of light in this room in the first place, but it always helps to have more light. Clean these lane guides. A little more spray on there. Try and get that dirt off. And these lane guides aren't cracked, so there's really no reason to replace them. So cleaning them up, they'll look nice. Put a new bulb in the sockets, they'll look nice. Alright, so we're getting there on this side. Got almost done. Alright, so now we need the band. Alright, that band was good. So we are going to go like this. And let's get that through. And we'll take the next one. Break that down a little bit more. Get that kind of started there. And go ahead and get this one going. We can actually get it through. That would be nice. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Dude, stay. Thank you. Finally. Alright. Get that through. And screw that down. Make sure that's seated properly. So we got that secured. The next one secured here. Alright, very good. And again, we want to check that the ball is actually going to go down the lane. It's not stuck. Very good. Alright, so we have that one done. So now, what are we going to tackle next? We got this one done, that one done, that one done, that one done. We got lights replaced there. This light's replaced. I guess we'll do these down here. So let me move the camera a little bit to see that one. There we go. Screw there. Alright, so now, unfortunately, there is not a light underneath this lane guide. This is a pretty dark area of the play field. I'm going to get all of this gunk out of here. Try and clean that up, make the play field look a little nicer. Don't have to do anything too crazy because this is where the ball goes, but it's just a visual. And that one's shot. I'll get rid of this one out of here. Alright, so now let's take that cleaner, clean that out of there. Alright, that looks pretty decent. Alright, so now the lane posts, those are dirty. Get these brushes out of the way. Put them over here. All right, so these posts are dirty. It is a shooter rubber. All right, so we need to clean these posts. A little more spritz. Go ahead and wipe them down. You can actually put these posts in a media tumbler and clean them up if you wanted to. Do a very fine media and get all the grime off of them. But this machine has got some normal patina. I probably lived in a arcade or a bar or a restaurant for many years, because this one, I think this one is 70. There's a date on it. I want to say this one's maybe 75. So there's where our two posts are going to sit. We have our rubber that is part of that. We'll move these over here. There's our bulbs. Put the bulbs there. These are our old dirty bulbs. Let's get those out of the way. So we're putting all new bulbs on this machine. And there is screw number 1. And I guess we already lost screw number 2. Oh, there it is. All right, cool. So, to go ahead and clean this lane guide. All right, lane guide almost cleaned here. So we are going to put lane guide post there. I'm going to grab one of the screws, put it through, and let's get this screw in a few threads so that it doesn't rip out of the play field. And I'm going to, actually, you know what, on this rubber, go ahead and stretch this one a little bit. Well, on these rubbers, sometimes you just stretch them. So, and this is a fresh set of bands for this machine. We're going to go like that. We're going to put the post in underneath here. Come on. Get in, get in, get in, get in. Okay, cool. So we're there. We're going to stretch that out. We're going to find our other screw. We're going to put that through. And then we are going to put this in and screw down. So then we will have, ooh, watch what I'm doing. All right, got that done. Okay, so that one is done. All right, so the ball would bounce off right there. All right, now let's go ahead and get the camera on this side. Let's see, let's go like this. Get the camera right about there. All right, so now we've got to clean this other little guide next to the, let's get these bands out of the way, put our light bulbs up there. Let's get this cleaner off of the play field and move over here. All right, so go ahead and remove this little lane guide near the flippers. Get that off. All right, so post 1, post 2. Get these out of here. Screw 1, screw 2. And we've got to clean this lane guide. So as you'll see here, lane guide dirty. No reason to replace it. It is not cracked. Sometimes when people screw them down too hard, they will get cracked. So go ahead and clean that up. Looking somewhat decent, not that bad. And what we also want to do is clean this area on the field that we just had. Go ahead and get this dirt off of here. Sorry for the shaky camera. I've got the camera on kind of a little pedestal that's on the end of the play field, so it's getting a little bit shaky, but basically cleaning this area where the posts go so that the machine looks nice, and we'll clean the rest of the field another time. Just cleaning these little spots where we're replacing the rubbers for now. All right, so we're good there. We got to get all of that cleaner out of there. All right, come on. There we go. All right, what I'm going to do is stretch this band out a little bit. Whoa! I didn't mean for that to happen. Busted band. Oh, well, jeez. Well, that sucks. Now we got to find another band. All right, so we'll have to go digging into the archive tools and see if we can find another band. Boy, that was really cheap one. I barely pulled on that thing. All right, so get these out of the way. Got another band over here. I think it's the same gauge or same diameter. Is that the same diameter? That's close. Let's see here. Trying to read them for 1 inch. Yep, 1 inch. Okay, so that one busted on us. So just try and give a little bit of give. Cannot believe that one popped on me. All right. So now we've got, oh, you know what, I didn't wipe our posts down. Let's go ahead and clean those posts. Post 1. Post 2, both are clean. So now, go ahead and put the post on. Oop. Come on, what are we doing here? And put the rubber around the post. I'll get this first screw in. Give a few threads in there so that it doesn't rip out of the play field. And then we go ahead and get the second post. Go ahead and stretch that a bit. Get the screw, put that through. There we go. So now we need to finish that. Just go like that. Screw it in. All right. Now we are good there. Now go ahead and move this back up and get this straight here. Now we've got a few other items to do. Did I do this one? Yeah, I did that one. All right, so this rubber runs around this triangle section here. This one is going to go there, this one's going to go there, this one, and this one. So what we can do easily is go ahead and clean around here. Might have to go get a Q-tip to get in here because I don't really want to take these posts out. Once you start taking the posts out of these older play fields, sometimes you get some wood that comes along with it, and you got to do a little bit of play field repair, and I am in no mood to do that. So sometimes you got to put a toothpick in the hole and then break it off and use a little glue sometimes if it's really bad. So rubber goes there and rubber goes there. So basically, this is going to be if the ball hits that center target. Let me clean that center target. When the ball hits that center target, Try to shine that up a little bit. There we go. The ball hits that center target. Obviously, it might come back, but if it hits it at an angle, that fresh rubber is going to allow that ball to bounce off nice and easy. So now what we need to do is we have our two spinners, a spinner to the left and a spinner to the right. What we need to do is replace the nuts, or excuse me, the rubbers that are on. So we're going ahead, I'm thinking with the nuts there, go ahead and remove this. So we got our post, we need to clean that. And again, there's no reason to go too crazy here because these posts are an area where obviously the ball's not going. So we'll just do a simple wipe down. We'll wax the rest of the play field another time. So now our post, we need to clean. We're going to go ahead and clean that post. Get that a little bit better than it was. Now we need to put a band on it. So now it has a band on it. What we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and screw that back down. No washer on this one, which I was surprised about. Let me go ahead and actually clean this a little bit better. I should go get some Q-tips actually. Try and get these a little bit cleaner. A little more shine. A little more shine. There we go. Nice. So now, go ahead and put that screw back in. Go ahead and grab our screwdriver. Go ahead and finish that off. Now, we also have on this side another one. So what we need to do is let's secure this one in. So that is secure. Now, let's go ahead and get this one out of here. So we're going to remove this screw. So there is our post. Now on these spinners, there's a wire that goes underneath the play field and it closes a contact every time the spinner goes around. So what we'll do is clean that up just a little bit. We don't want to bend the wire. It's easy to fix, but we could not tamper with it. That makes it easiest. So we're good there for the moment. So now what I'm going to do is I want to wipe this post down here. These posts are kind of yucky. I probably should have replaced them, but that's all right. No big deal. All right, and clean this post also. And not that great, but it's better than it was. Go back to the other side of the machine here. And what we're going to do is, let's move that out of the way, let's move that out of the way. We've got a busted ring there. There's our lamps, or bulbs, whatever you want to call them. And let's go ahead and remove this one. Yeah, these are, I don't want to go messing too much with these. There's definitely, this might be the first time that this has ever been cleaned on this machine. It seems to have a lot of meat in the wood, so that's good. They haven't been messed with. Try and shine this up a little bit. Very good, very nice. All right, now go ahead and clean that post. And put a band on there. And let's go ahead and close that off. Get that in. And now let's do that a little bit more. Create a little bit of a sturdiness to that post. Go ahead and back this screw off and take that screw out. And again, there's a wire right there that goes down underneath the play field. That wire goes to a contact that opens and closes every time the spinner spins around. And that's what tells the machine to score or give it points every time you're playing. So now, go ahead and clean this post. And we're going to run a little rag through there, try and get a little more dirt out of the area, make it look a little bit cleaner. A lot of buildup through the years here. right, that looks somewhat decent. Somewhat decent. Go ahead and try and clean a little bit of oxidation and dust off of there for all the years. All right, so now we have this center band that goes all the way around, kind of like a big triangle. So we're going to start at point 1 here, and we're going to put the screw through the post. We're going to screw down the post. So now that post will be secure. And okay, all good. Let's make sure that our spinner is spinning properly. Very good. Now take the other post and put that through on the other side. And let's get our screw, wherever that went. I gotta get that magnetic bowl. I keep on, okay, I just had the screw. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is underneath the lamps. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're going to stretch this through. And go. All good. Make sure that goes into the play field, not on the play field. We don't want to scratch up the paint. All right, so that post is now secure. And then we're going to spin away and spin away. So all good there. So now what we have is a triangle. Okay, so that triangle, basically the ball bounces off and is going to hit the pop bumpers, and then also we need to replace one pin right there. You guys can't see it on camera, but I'll get to it later at another time. Let's go ahead and make sure that we are fully secured here, because these spinners get a lot of action on the machine, a lot of vibration from the ball hitting them. And again, so you'll hear the machine when it's on go ding, 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 ding. And so I actually have the plastic that is associated with this. So the plastic would go right there to cover this area. So we're going to remove that because I don't want to have the plastics on here while I'm working on it. But that plastic, also there'd be another plastic right here, another plastic here, and I have those plastics. There'd be another one up here and another one up here. So we're going to remove that. So you would just see, what is that, the king or the jack? Is it the king, I guess? The king would be all lit up there because of the bulb that's underneath. So let's put that off to the side, because we definitely do not want to lose a plastic. They are very hard to find on these old machines, especially this one. They are not reproduced, that I know of at least. So let's go ahead and put our, actually got a nice old set of bulbs here. This is on the blue, when they have the little blue insulator in them. Those are actually the old ones from GE back in the day. When they have a white insulator, those are the newer ones, even though they're both GE. One is probably made in, okay, one's Hong Kong, one is Taiwan. I was going to say one might have actually been made in the States, but not the case. So, all right, so let's get rid of those boxes. All right, so now we have our bulbs. We have our box of bulbs. We have a broken band that we need to get a replacement for. We are done down here, minus the flipper bats. They need to be wiped down a lot better. So this is going to be the ring for up here. This busted ring is for up here. Everything else I've done so far down this way. So now what we're going to do is these lane guides, there's 5 lane guides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And what we're going to do is we are going to remove them one by one, and underneath each of these lane guides is a bulb. We're going to go ahead and replace those bulbs like we did on the rest of the field. And what I will do is, let me go ahead and move the camera so that you guys can see what's going on here, right there. All right, so these lane guides we're going to remove. Let's get these rings out of the way, put them there. And 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 2. All right. I suggest not using a power drill on these old machines, or even the new machines actually, unless you are operating an arcade or you are a route person and you need to do stuff like this real fast. The problem with a power drill is that if you slip, go ahead and scratch up the beautiful play field and make it look yucky. We're going to put these screws down here one by one. Now these posts are also really dirty, so we're going to go ahead and again wipe those down in a few moments. So there's our lane guide 1, and you'll see all of the dirt that's around here. We need to clean that. Go ahead and get this other one off. So this is lane guide number 2 coming off here. And we'll see how dirty it is. Oh, come on. Literally 2 threads can be the difference. Yep, she's dirty. All right, so there is lane guide number 2, dirty. Lane guide number 1, dirty. Put the screws down here. Posts are also nasty, dirty. And go ahead. And we got another screw there. Got one more screw. So this is the lane guide number 3. Right in the center of the machine on the play field. Let's get that screw out of there. And we've got, yeah, those lane guides are pretty dirty. We gotta get those posts cleaned also. And put another screw down here. This might only be the second time that this machine's been. Some of the wood here is actually in decent condition. I've had a lot of machines that the wood's really been ripped away from people replacing the screws, the bands, the lane guides through the years. All right, so posts out of the way. There's another nasty lane guide. Here's our final lane guide. All right, so what we'll do is in a moment we'll remove the bulbs. We will go ahead and do a little polish on the bulbs, or cleaner on the bulbs. Oops, see? Perfect example right there. Just scratched the play field because I slipped like a dummy. So sometimes it's good to lay a towel down. But again, this machine has normal patina, so nothing's being saved here in any type of, museum setup. So got 5 bulbs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, obviously, and you see around the bulbs, you see a lot of dirt. So what we need to do is remove the bulbs. So you just push them in, pop them out one by one. These are what is called a 44 or a 47 bulb, depending upon how bright they are. These are actually 47s, and they look like they are probably GE or Westinghouse. I guess GE probably. Yeah, GE. So, all right, now we need to go ahead and get some cleaner. This is Novus 2. Those of you that are into pinball machines, or if you are also in the marine world, you will know the brand Novus. So this is one part of what I do with my machines. I have a few different waxes and chemicals that I use to make the machines look nice and shiny. So this is one of the chemicals that I use. So we need to clean this wood. We need to get all that dirt, that surface dirt, out of that area. Clean the lane guide also. I use these little foam brushes. These are like the brushes you used to use when you were a kid in grade school or kindergarten. Clean that area. And then usually the first part of it is to get the area kind of wet with this material or this cleaner, and then the dirt will kind of just loosen itself up just from the brush. And I will do the rest of the play field on another day. And the wood is eating away at the, at the foam brush, unfortunately. That sucks. These brushes are cheap. That's all right. I'm not spending a lot of money on these brushes. I'm just using them to wipe a play field down. So go like that. And just use your finger. And let's see, final one. I'm going to have to throw this brush away because it is shot. go right over the switch. That switch is where the ball rolls over, and then it tells the machine that circuit closed. Go ahead and score 10 or 100 or whatever it might be. All right, so now what we're going to do is all of that cleaner that's right there beneath King. Let's get all of our lane guides out of the way. So I'm going to wind up knocking them out. All right, so now that cleaner we need to get out of there. You don't need to let this dry. This stuff is really chalky. If you let it dry, it definitely will leave a little bit of a pain. Let's get the rest of these lane guides out of here. Come on, get out of there. All right, just go like this. Clean it. You just go nice and easy over the switches. You don't want to bend them. And get the rest of that cleaner off with the nice clean rag, microfiber rag. And sorry for the shakiness of the camera. Again, I've got a kind of little tripod that's set up on the machine to try and get the view for you. Or actually a camera base. I guess it's not even really a tripod. All right, so that area is all clean now. So I'll hit it with a actual polish later on, some type of ceramic polish. So now what we need to do is, one second, I got to get a different rag. What we're going to do is clean the lane guides. So I like to use glass cleaner. This is definitely my favorite. A lot of people also like it. Go ahead and put it there so you guys can see. It's just the standard cleaner that you get from Target, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever else. About $2.50 a bottle, but that stuff is pretty amazing. I use it for anything glass, obviously. And yeah, hey Jay, what's up, dude? Yeah, this is an old machine. This is 70. I'm into electromechanical machines. They're before my time, but I really love them. One, they're easier to work on. I don't do board work, so I don't do resistors and diodes and all that stuff that you see on and IC chips that you see on newer machines from the 80s and 90s. So I am into the electromechanicals. So this machine, I think, is 1974. This is a Gottlieb King Cool. This is actually a machine that I was trying to get for a bunch of years. Really cool machine. I love the artwork on it. I love the colors. And yeah, most likely it lived in a arcade or bar or somewhere that people enjoyed it. So again, this is the best, definitely the best, at least that I've come across. That Sprayway cleaner. There's a few other brands. Some of the brands also have a very harsh odor, which I kind of dig the odor. Probably not best to be breathing in, but all right. So now we have a lane guide that is clean. So we're going to leave that there. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and clean the rest of the posts. So those are the posts that the lane guides sit on top. And then obviously as being a lane guide, that is where the ball goes ahead and slides through. Let's get a little bit more spray on there. And what we're going to do is clean that post. Let me see if I can get in camera here rather than not being in camera. So there is the post. Not all that clean actually, but you know what? It'll do. So we are going to go post by post here and put them up here. And I'm going to go ahead and clean all of those down. So how you doing today, Jay? Good to see you, by the way. Thank you for joining in. Appreciate it. Was doing this machine anyway today, and I said, you know what, we'll put the clean ones up here. I said, you know what, let me go ahead and set up the camera and see who shows up to talk. So, again, sorry for the shaky video. I got the camera on a little base here on the, it's actually a base for my, what is my microphone? One of those Yetis, a blue Yeti, but I don't use the base. I have a big boom that's on my desk. So, geez, that one is really dirty, but I am not going the extra mile to clean them. We're just going to do the basics here. This is the kind of stuff that unless you're finicky like me, you really don't notice this on pinball machines, all these little touches of dirt here and there. So that's what they call patina. So All right, so that one is clean. We have 3 more to do. Let's go ahead and get those done. Simple wipe down, nothing crazy. And again, I mentioned a little bit earlier, but I know folks have been popping in and out of the stream here. You're probably not used to me doing a pinball machine, cleaning up the play field, but these little posts can actually be put into a media tumbler and can be cleaned up pretty nice, actually, and all shined up. But we're not doing that. Keeping it simple, keeping it lazy, I guess would probably be the better term, maybe. So there we have a post that has been wiped down clean, and now the rubber is on there. So that one's going to go there. Okay. So now we are going to do this with the rest of them, and then the 2 end ones get one of these bands. I have to go get another one out of my pile of parts and go like that. And we're going to go like that. And let's see. Okay. And go. One more. Bang. Okay. So we can start putting those in a moment after we put in some bulbs. Okay. Oh, we got one rogue post that rolled away. We're going to handle that now. Wipe that down and get that right there. Okay. So now it's bulb time. So let's go ahead and pop some new bulbs in. 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and get the other ones in. So now, minus the beneath the play field, all of the bulbs have, does this machine have lighting? Yeah, the machine has lighting. So yeah, so these are your bulbs. These are like a lighting strip. No, not like a lighting strip. So the old machines used these old incandescent bulbs that were made by GE. Now they're made by a company called ICO, and they're all made overseas. Unfortunately, they're junky. But these bulbs, basically, you have bulbs in these hidden areas here underneath the lane guides. Then you have lights that are also in the pop bumpers, and then you have lights in other random spots through the playfield. So your newer machines will have light strips because they're LEDs, but this is obviously long before the era of LED. So now, actually, I forgot we need to have our lane guides cleaned. So dirty lane guide, we got our cleaner. And luckily the lane guides are not cracked, so we're just going to clean those nice and easy. Now you can put lighting strips in these machines. Off of the transformer, you have a 6 volt that is lighting all of the bulbs in these older machines. It's maybe 6.3 volts, but we just say 6 volts. And so you can get a LED strip, and you could maybe put one up here to light it, put one underneath here, light this area. But honestly, with these old machines, when you start putting the LED strips on them, it takes away from the old flavor. Unless you have somebody that's really, visually impaired, and maybe it's for home use and, they want to be able to see their machine at home. I would say keep the machine, the old school incandescent bulbs. It really looks the best to me, and it really is the flavor of that decade. So they didn't go over to what's called solid state machines until 1977. All these old electromechanical machines were from 77 and further back. My favorite era of machines are the 70s. Yeah, I agree, keep it simple, no doubt. Just like cars. So as cars have gotten more and more complicated now, and even for my cars, I have zero desire for all of the computers that they keep on slapping on the cars. And the reason for that is that the radio or the touchscreen goes bad in the car, and you're looking at $5,000, and it's like, well, bought the car for X, and now I got to pay 10% or more of the car for the control panel on the car, the touchscreen. Like, come on. So, all right. So here is our first lane guide that we're going to pop in. Lane guide has been cleaned. We want to make sure that we've got the screws in a little bit. I'll do them by hand to start, and then we'll come back with a screwdriver. So here's lane guide number 2. Let's grab 2 screws. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the screws through the lane guide and through this one. Yeah, this one might have had actually 2 holes drilled by accident. Somebody might have stripped some wood out here through the years. So I'm trying to use the original drill holes from the factory. Sometimes you'll see a second hole, and that's where, sometimes folks will crank these screws down a little bit too hard, and you'll rip the play field, and it can be repaired, and you can't really see it, but if you got to repair it with toothpicks and glue, it's a bit of a pain. Okay, so our 3 lane guides are good, and so now what we're going to do is we need to put regular bands around these. Now, I have a busted band for those of you that are just joining me, and unfortunately that busted band is my fault. I wound up stretching it a little bit too far, and so it snapped. So I'll run and get another band in a few moments, but before I do that, I'm going to find the lane guide that's up here. What we're going to do is clean this guide. And let's see. All right, getting there. All right, so this lane guide is cleaned. So now, well, not almost. Hold on, it's almost cleaned. And what I'm going to do is all right. We have our band, we have the lane guide that's for there, and the busted band. Oh boy, busted band. All right, go like this. Get that through. We are going to. 1 second. Sorry if I'm off camera here. Trying to get this band. There we go. Okay, so now let's drill through. Go like that. Okay, so now let's get that secured. Screwdriver. Whoa! Boy, scratch the playfield up. All right, so you're going to stretch this band out a touch, or a bit, or a little, or whatever you want to say. And what we're going to do is, come on, these bands, if you don't stretch them out beforehand, you wind up having a really tough time getting them to pull. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is find a screw. I'm going to go through the post and come on, brother. What are you doing? Okay, cool, got it. Just want to make sure that I'm not creating another hole in the playfield. All right, so now let's screw this down. See, that's what these bands sometimes. I tried stretching out that other one and it snapped on me. All right, I mentioned a few moments ago, for those of you that have joined late, is I want to make sure the ball's actually going through. So ball's going through. We need to screw these down the rest of the way. Well, that's the second time I've done that, so gee, I gotta get a different set of screwdrivers. Either that or I actually have to stop being so old. So Alright, so lane guide secure, ball goes through, no problem. Let's go ahead and put the ball down here, screw in this other lane guide, and other lane guide. Okay, next one. Nice and easy. Let's go ahead and put this one here. All right, top one in, and second one is secured here. 1, 2, 3, secure. All right, roll through. Nice. All right, now let's get the screwdriver up over here. We need to clean this lane guide. It's looking nasty. Trying to figure out which rag I was using here. A little glass cleaner on there. And clean this lane guide. And lane guide's not cracked, so no reason to replace it. Just gotta clean it. Do the edges here. Get a little bit of dirt still built up. All right, so that one's going to go there. The problem is we've got a busted band. So stay with me for a moment. What we're going to do is, any luck with the new NES ROM pack? No, you know what? That ROM pack, good question. The ROMs are still screwy. So I'm basically done with that power pack because I don't know how to do that stuff. So what I've done is I've got my classic set up. I might actually jump on it later tonight. Sorry, just getting some coffee here. I might jump on it later tonight and play, so keep an eye out for another live. But my classic has all the games, and actually my classic, I have a better setup going. I have it actually at my desk on one of my monitors, and I'm able to see things a little bit better. So, and also the camera is a lot easier because of this mount that I just created. All right, stay with me. I'm going to go find another band here in the parts bin. And hopefully I have a band that size. Let's see, we'll get the jar of bands. I got a big container full of them, and I'll just have to pick through. All right. Cannot believe the dogs are being quiet today. Ooh, is that oh, no, not a, let's see. Oh my God, is it actually a 1-inch? Let's see. Nope, hold on. I'll be back on camera in a moment here. Just gonna go through, trying to find a 1-inch band. I could do lots of jokes right now, but I won't, just for respect of people, just in case they don't want to hear jokes. Let's see here. Oh, come on, everything but the size that I need. All right, yeah, there's a 1-inch. Okay, so let's see. So we're supposed to be using a 1-inch band. So that would be that one there. Let's just make sure that it's sized properly. Now, I want to stretch this band out a little bit because this one feels really tight. So here's, go ahead and work that. Work it. All right, band is worked. Okay, so we need to get the screw. Put the screw through the post. Put the band on the post. And put the screw in the hole. All right, so we have that first one in. Let's go ahead and get that tightened down a little bit. All right, so leave that there. Let's go ahead and get this up a little bit higher. This band feels like it's a thicker gauge. It's not good. I don't want to put thicker gauge bands on this thing. I don't get the same response. Yep, I think this is a thicker gauge because this one's giving me a bit of a tough time. Come on. All right, we are through. So now we are in the thread. Let's go ahead and get that down. Let's see, what'd you say? JE, my Nintendo Switch is my go-to. Got on the Mega Man. kick yesterday. Oh yeah. I tried playing Mega Man the other night when I was on the stream, but I'm horrible at that game. I think I'm going to be rocking Metroid and Kid Icarus. The buttons are a bit too small. So, yeah. Well, you know what? One of the cool things, yeah, Middle Age catching up to me. Join the club. Um, One of the things that's cool, I think, with the Switch, you can do different remote controllers. So you don't have to stick with that regular Switch controller. Let's go ahead and see. Yeah, that's a little tight. Mm, okay, that's not bad. Okay, that's cool. All right, so the rebound rubber we're going to do another time because that is a little bit hairy to deal with. We're going to get brushes out of the way. We're going to say goodbye to our busted band. Let's throw that away. Let me go ahead. I'll be off camera here for a moment. I want to put the rest of the bands that I have in. Let's see, do I have any colored? Yeah, looking for anything other than red. Red's kind of boring on the bands for the flipper bats, and I'll move the camera in a moment so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so let's go ahead and move this back here. See if we can. There we go. All right, so we've got 1, 2, we've got 3 and 4. I'll put over on the other side. I'm going to put the shooter band or the shooter rubber right there, and go ahead and try and center the camera here. Okay, so yeah, better controlling my son, the moment of madness and through it. Moment of madness. Oh, that's what they call it, huh? I thought they called it a moment of rage, but I'll go ahead and go play along. So, all right. So, let me find. We are going to be using our spray away cleaner again and our dirty rag. Well, close to clean rag. We're gonna get that a little bit wet. Now, on these flipper bats, they have little grooves in them where dirt loves to pile up. I'm not going crazy today and getting a toothbrush and cleaning these bats. We are going to do it just basic. There's really no reason to go nuts. And sorry for the shaky camera again. And let's see, go like that. Yeah, it's actually not coming out that bad today. We're going to go like that. Now there is some wear on this play field. You'll see here. The bat used to rub right there. Luckily, it is not rubbing anymore. But part of the reason was there is a bushing underneath that most likely went bad through the years. So I'm going to go ahead and clean away. Get that dirt out of there, that yucky dirt, right? I don't want to see that. I want to see nice, clean flipper bats. All right, so now clean the front of the bat and get this. All right, go like that. I tell you what, these are actually coming out pretty darn easy. Normally, the dirt is so nasty stuck onto these plastics, and a lot of times I'll just replace the flipper bats if they're cracked, but there's nothing wrong with these, so really no reason to replace them. So how did you get your hands on this machine? This machine I worked out on a trade. Normally for me, I do a lot of trading with people that are in the hobby here in my region. So I am a big trading guy. I love trading. And the reason for that is I wind up getting machines that I never thought I would own before. So, people say, oh, what machine do you want? Yeah, sure, I've got my list of machines that I would like. But let's say that list of machines I reel off, and, the person that I'm talking with is like, oh, well, I don't have those machines. Okay, thanks anyway, bye. So I'm like, oh, wait a second. Well, what do you have? And then they'll say, oh, well, I've got this one, this one. And I'm like, wait a second, I want that one. I've been trying to find that one. So this is a good example here with this King Cool. So the King Cool is a Gottlieb game. Now these flippers will go up like this at the same time. These are scissor flippers. And that's another aspect of this game that one of the reasons why I wanted scissor flippers. You have two spinners on the game also. Really nice colors. I love the reds and the purples on this machine, and the aqua blue. That's why a lot of times for me, it's not just the game. It's actually the artwork and the colors I'm really into in these old games. I just love the the people that used to design them back in the day, and what they did with the artwork. Just really fascinated with all that stuff. That's what I'm kind of into. I'm not a big tournament guy. I got a lot of friends in the hobby that are into tournaments, and I've played some tournaments, but just not really not my bag, baby. Go ahead and get that. What do I tell you? What I looked out on these bats. These are really clean, or somewhat clean, I should say. All right, go ahead and do there. Go ahead and clean the back side. You don't want to get the playfield wet with a rag. This wood can plank through the years and get kind of nasty. So now it's time for our bands. Go ahead and just wipe them down. Sometimes there's a little bit of chalk or powder from the I guess the factory where they make these. To make sure that they don't get nasty, they put a chalk or powder on them. Maybe it's a drying agent, I guess. So nice. Look at that, guys. Woo, woo, woo. She's looking good now. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and wipe the powder off of those. Beautiful. All right. So, where are we at on this one? Let's see if there's anything else that I had to do on the bands or the scoring mix. And if not, what we can do is maybe we'll try and play. Now, this one was acting a little screwy. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we can still play with that. That's not a problem. I need to put the rod tip on there. Oh, you know what? Didn't do the pop bumper. So we need to replace the pop bumper bulbs. And my fingers have gotten all yucky. I've only got one bulb. Uh-oh. We're in trouble. I've only got one bulb left. Oh, my. Oh, my. Yep. Old dirty bulb. Now these pop caps, these inserts, I'll probably get new ones. There's a company called Marco that everybody uses here in the industry, or in the hobby industry, whatever you want to call it. And they do a really good job on their parts. Now there's also another company for those of you that are into older machines like this called Pinball Resource, and that is a gentleman, Steve Young, really cool guy. I've never met him, but everybody always has good things to say. And now the people of Marco is actually here in South Carolina. So they're only about an hour and 10 minutes away from me. So a lot of times will buy from Marco because I know some folks that work there, and they're very nice. And they also are close to me. So when I am sometimes up in Columbia, I will go stop up there. So I've got to go get another box of bulbs. So hold on with me one more second. I'll be right back. Trading is a good skill. Yeah, Jay, definitely. The trading, you can again get some stuff that you never thought you would have. You also run the risk, unfortunately, of people burning you. I've had it happen a few times, unfortunately, where I've had actually the last one, traded a machine, met this gentleman at, let's see, trying to find the right bulbs here. Okay, cool. And then what else did I need? I needed bulbs. Sorry about this. I'm forgetting what I was supposed to grab. Oh, I need a needle nose plier. So, went to go do a trade, and the gentleman did not tell me that the back glass is all touched up. And when you turn on the lights for the machine and you see all this blotchiness on the back glass of the artwork, that sucks. So he didn't tell me that. I wasn't too happy. And I asked him to make it right. He said no. I said, okay, don't ever reach out to me again for another trade. So it's not much you can do, and it's really not worth, Okay, so let me tell you what I'm doing here. The sockets that are in these pop bumpers, sometimes depending upon the bulb literally by a half a millimeter by a millimeter, sometimes the width or the diameter of that bulb housing for the metal will be a little bit thicker or a little bit thinner. So in this instance, I got new bulbs. The new bulbs aren't fitting in properly because this holder is not gripping them. So what we're going to do is we're going to bend the holder in just a little bit so that it will grip properly. And that's a little bit better. Don't want to go too tight because then it's going to be a pain to get out. And now bulb is secure. Now we're going to grab another bulb and see how the bulb is loose. So we want to not have it loose. So what we're going to do is, again, just bend just a little bit, nothing too hard. And also you can actually crack those housings or these holders in here. You don't want to do that. Bulb is secure. Let's test the third one. Yep, too loose. So, well, actually, if I turn it, yeah, a little bit too loose. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead and bend this one just a touch. All right. All right. That one is secure. So those are secure. So now let's go ahead and put our cap inserts back. And these are all faded, so I will get some new ones. And sometimes I'll put colored LEDs in these because you can put LEDs in the machine, obviously. So I'll do a red here, blue here, in this instance. Or sometimes I'll actually do color changing LEDs that will go red, blue, and green. And so, just for a little bit of flavor to the machine. I guess that was one of the old ones. I'll just put that off to the side. Was it a new one? Nope. Nope, that was a new one, I think. I'll put that back in. All right, that is the replacement of bulbs on the top side of the field. So this is the top side of the field. Underneath is the underfield or underplay field, or the insert lighting. So that would be the lighting for all of these dots, as people will call it, where all of these bonus numbers, all of these indicators, that would be all of your underfield insert lighting. Everything up top is known as your general illumination, your top side, and then your back glass is your back glass lighting. So let's see here. I want to get a skee ball machine. You guys, yes. So the ice ball is going to be a little bit more affordable than the old skee balls, luckily. But still, I think even the ice balls probably are about $2,000. The old skee balls, the old yellow ones with the real wooden balls, they can get pretty pricey depending upon what age they are. So, yeah, it's definitely a tough racket. There's actually an auction that happens in Seaverville and also Winston-Salem. You might be able to find one there if you don't find one randomly on like a Facebook post or a marketplace post. But so, hey, I've actually been on for over an hour. That time flew. I've got to move on with my day and do some other things around the house and also see what's going on in the rest of the house. And so, JE, thank you very much for joining me. And anybody else that also joined the stream, greatly appreciate it. I see right now there's 2 folks on, so thank you for joining. And maybe on the next one, I will either be doing a little bit of Nintendo Play, now that I have a nice setup at my desk, or maybe we'll actually do some pinball play. So appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And I will, let's see, in this area, we really have to watch out for corrosion. Yeah, definitely. The metal parts, you get a lot of rust, a lot of oxidation. Pull the batteries and the bulbs. Yeah, no doubt. I've had multiple machines where they did not take the batteries out and the batteries leaked everywhere. That was pretty common actually for machines that were purchased from like what are they called? The billiard places, the home gaming places back in like the early 90s. A lot of people had no idea that there were batteries on the boards, so they'd never replaced the batteries. And the batteries, depending upon the manufacturer, the batteries would be at like the top left or right of the main processing unit. And then the corrosion would just leak down the board and literally ruin the entire board. So there's a lot of board guys that do a really good job replacing that stuff. So, all right, JE, I'm going to scoot out. Thank you very much for joining. And for anybody else that joined, I will catch you in the next one.